Today we're going to find out which of these market-leading dry hard cases offer the best protection for your stuff on your next hardcore adventure. At the beach. Let's rock. Hello. Sorry to disappoint some of you, but I won't be jumping off of a building today. Instead, we'll be testing these polycarbonate cases to its limit. Officially on paper, at least for this one, you're not supposed to submerge it underwater, but let's be honest. The designers didn't add this over-engineered double hinge latching mechanism with a safety lock just to protect your foam from a little splash. We all know these companies are just trying to cover their legal rear ends from liability. So let's see what these cases can really handle. Let's take a look at the official specs. From the United States, we have the Pelican Microcase 1020. Pelican is basically the industry standard for protective cases for anyone needing to transport gear. They're known for being extremely durable, waterproof, dustproof, and shockproof. I would know because I used a ton of these cases to get critical equipment to remote places all around the world. This microcase is rated for IP67, so it should be good for 1 meter of water submersion for 30 minutes. And the same applies for all the other cases they make. And from the Great White North, we have the underdog, Nanuk Nano 310, a company that's currently taking a bite out of Pelican's huge market share. Although both cases are similar in price, the Nanuk does seem like a better bang for the buck, with all the extra shock-absorbing rubber features to protect the case and its contents. It's also slightly smaller, and is rated for IPX5, which is basically like shooting a super soaker at it. Both of these products are designed and manufactured within their own countries, so they're not diluting their quality by farming out their production to chase margins, which is commendable. Unlike other brands that used to make high-quality products back at home over 20 years ago. On episode 14, when we imploded the GoPro cases, we used this water-finding paste as our leak indicator. This time around, I think we'll try and use this instead. How the heck do you close this thing? This should help because...
It's got electrolytes.
By the way, great doc. You can also see it live. Wow. I don't know if you guys caught that, but the lid actually sealed quite well. Much better than I expected. Let's take a look at the pressure log. We don't see any blips on the graph because it was a pretty slow and gradual leak. But it actually started here, and we continued to take the case all the way down to 1036 meters. If we analyze the video, we can see all the action. At 15 meters, we can actually see the latch slowly open as the case begins to deform. At 20 meters, a leak springs up on the bottom, but this isn't the lid seal leaking. All Pelicans are equipped with an automatic pressure relief valve, which equalizes the pressure inside the case with the atmospheric pressure on the outside, while keeping water out. They do this with a thin membrane, which is a hydrophobic, microporous, expanded Teflon structure that allows air molecules to pass through both ways, while blocking water from getting in. This looks like futuristic stuff, but it was actually invented back in 1969. In fact, if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you're covered in this Teflon right now. You probably know it by its trade name, Gore-Tex. And yeah, it's waterproof. That is, until water molecules are forced through with pressure. And in this case, it failed at 30 psi. But why would these cases need this feature in the first place? Well, if you flip to figure 1.14 in your textbook, we can see that the air pressure drops as we move up in elevation. The pressure is the result of the weight of all the air molecules above in the air column. The higher up you go, the less air molecules there are, so the lower the pressure. Air is also compressible, which is why it's denser the closer you get to sea level. Without a pressure relief valve, these sealed cases could literally be stuck in the closed position, also known as a vacuum lock. Say if you pack some energy bars in a case at a lower altitude. By the time your Sherpa or yak brings it to the peak of Everest, the atmospheric pressure would have dropped, and there would be a positive pressure differential between the inside and outside of the case. Once it opens with a pop, the pressure inside equalizes with the atmosphere at 314 millibars. When the Sherpa brings the case back down, say to sea level at 1000 millibars, the pressure differential would be a negative 686 millibars, or basically a 10 psi vacuum. We can actually calculate the force required to open the case at this point, since we know the length and width of the seal. By multiplying the opening area with the differential pressure, we get 206 pounds of vacuum locking force, keeping this microcase shut. That's like trying to open it with a black bear standing on it. The atmospheric pressure can also drop during an incoming storm by 10 millibars, or even as much as 100 millibars during a really bad hurricane. In this case, the vacuum locking force would be between 3 to 30 pounds after the storm passes. So we can see why these cases need a breather valve to function. But I digress. If we dive back into the ocean, I would suspect that all these dry cases would leak around 20 meters deep. But it would be a very slow and gradual leak, depending on the duration and the depth beyond 20 meters. I was amazed by the design of these cases and how strong they're able to withstand the crushing effects of hydrostatic pressure. We can see that we took the case a kilometer deep, within midnight zone, and there was still a little gas pocket inside. It would appear from the leak rate that the lid seal was still working at this point, and all the water entered through the Gore-Tex membrane, which is really impressive. After bringing the case back to the surface, we can confirm that the latch did open, as the denser electrolytes begin leaking out from the popped cover. See? I told you it would help. Even after this extreme test, the case didn't plastically deform, and it still works like brand new. I've got to hand it to the Americans for designing such a rugged product. Now I feel much better putting my stuff in it after this performance.
America, 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 yeah!
Wow, I'm feeling so patriotic, and I'm not even American. Hold on a second. Let's give Canada a chance to respond here. Time for take 2. Action!
Yippee-ki-yay.
Melon farmer.
It looks like the breather valve on this one failed at 9 meters, and water began leaking in. At 49 meters, the deflection from the case causes an extrusion failure on the lid seal, flooding the inside even faster. A sight you definitely don't want to see while on a submarine. As a Canadian, I was really cheering for Nanuk, but the Pelican just came out on top, and yeah, today just wasn't the day, and the Americans took it home. But honestly, if you're going to the beach or kayaking, you can also count on the Nanuk to keep your stuff dry. Just not as dry. That's some good ale. By the way, if you guys just stumbled upon this channel, like 99% of you guys out there watching, please consider crushing the sub down there so you guys don't miss out on future episodes. I'll be exporting this stuff across YouTube, so yeah, there's that.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Keurig Dr. Pepper Corporation.
Oh, I just had a great idea. So hold on a second. I'm just going to order something really quick. Don't worry, I have Amazon Prime Plus. Okay, order. Ah, there we go. Hold on a second. Thank you. All right, let's see what we have here. What the? How'd that get in there? There we go. Oh, the latch is already broken off. I just want to do one more test on this Chinese generic no-name brand dry case. I'm just curious. The valve on this case began leaking at 6 meters, which is also when the latch popped open. The lid seal did do its job though, I would have to say. This case was half the price of the Pelican, so I figured I'd give it a shot. As you can see from the unboxing, the build quality wasn't there. It felt flimsy, and both pins for the latch had a loose fit, which is why it fell apart during shipping. I guess the takeaway for this episode is, if you guys need a dependable dry-hard case for your next outdoor adventure, just get the stuff made in North America. That's a wrap for today. We'll see you guys on the next one.